I was gonna say, you brought up a great point, which is that, like, and this is again where I think the argument's fair for the Bitcoin supporters, and that is that it's like, why don't we stop gold mining then? I mean, honestly, like, if you really want to talk about, like, and I'm a big commodities bug as well. I love gold and silver, but I mean, to be honest, commodity markets in general, I know that as well from investing in the sector. It's incredibly wasteful. It's incredibly damaging to the environment. And we're not just talking about, oh, we put together some hardware in a factory in China at a company like Bitmain, and we maybe emitted a little bit of emissions. I'm talking about like serious degrees of emissions, destruction of the core surface of the earth and entire ecosystems and environments. And that's, again, like, it's important to admit to those things, just like we do with Bitcoin. But it doesn't mean it should be an excuse for Bitcoin mining to not try to look for better ways. But it's amazing for a market that has only been around, like, realistically, like, we need to really take this in perspective, how fast technology is moving. Bitcoin mining as an industry really only started about 13 years ago when the network came on in around 2008 to 2009. And what's incredible to think is how it went from being run on like a couple GPUs, like an NVIDIA graphics card on your computer, or even your CPU back in the day when it was so easy to mine, to now having specified miners that are running in hyper efficient structures. It is no longer a game where you can be wasteful or you can just, I'm going to flip on some miners and make some money real quick. It's incredibly energy efficient. And the beauty is that it's now paired with energy, like economic efficiency. And what we find is that the most economic efficient is the most environmental. It's either wasted energy that can't be utilized, as you mentioned, Eugene, about like energy that's at a far distance that would just lose its energy efficiency during transportation, but most importantly, renewable energy. And that is incredibly exciting. And one thing I always want to emphasize as well is that for this renewable energy, what really makes it quite lucrative here, and again, you also don't want it to come back and bite Bitcoin in the butt, with some of the cycles. But if you're not using a very, very high degree of renewable energy, and you can still guarantee a minimum level of consistent energy output, the really cool thing about that is that's actually great for miners, because for miners need to be constantly running for the most part. They can be shut off from time to time, if done on a less frequent basis, but they really actually need consistent energy input, and it's best not to turn them off. So that's a really important thing here as well, is that by tapping into various energy resources, it's just going to add more to the capacity for mining.